tried to steal your nephew's dog? That is evil. Listen, if anyone ever tried to take my cats, heaven help them, because let me tell you, they'll need it. Happy apple picking day! Per usual, we have to do our spiel at the beginning for our new friends. If you want a chance for me to tell your story on Am I the Bad Apple, you can submit it to my subreddit, Am I the Bad Apple? And as we always do, a little reminder, people come from different branches of the apple trees. So when people have different opinions on some of these stories, it's because of those experiences and because of those perspectives. They either have experienced something different than you, or they haven't experienced anything similar, and therefore they don't have like anything personal to pull from. There might be things they just don't understand. And if we want to create a more empathetic society and like teach people how to communicate, we should never shame someone for those things. You can talk and have a conversation. So keep that in mind while you're talking, but also keep in mind that someone might tell you something that like opens and expands your own mind. You might learn something today. Everyone should just all around have an open mind. So without further ado, let's get started with this week's episode of Am I the Bad Apple? Let's go apple picking. Apple number 1. Am I the bad apple for not leaving my parking spot? I, 30 male, was at a grocery store the other day picking up some medicine and supplies for dinner. It was pretty busy and raining, so a lot of the nearby spots were taken. I was lucky enough to get a great spot that was super close. So I leave the store and I get to my car and I put all my stuff in the trunk. And by this time, I noticed that there was a white minivan stopped and was waiting for me to move. Normally, I would just get in my car and leave pretty quick, but I decided to fiddle on my phone for a good 30 seconds trying to find a song. The white minivan, however, I guess decided this was taking too long and laid on their car horn for a good 5 seconds. I just decided to sit there at that point until the driver left. Whoa, she did not appreciate this. As you know, she just kept honking. She eventually got fed up and got out of the car and started berating me for not moving and wasting everybody's time. I mean, at this point, there's a whole line of cars behind her. She claimed to have kids in the car, no rain jackets, and didn't want them to get wet and cold. I told her, lady, it's not my problem that you came unprepared, and I have no obligation to vacate my spot for you. I guess this just absolutely blew her mind, because she just stood there staring at me through the window. Anyway, she zoomed off, I left, and the next car got the spot. Should I have handled this differently? Like, was I the jerk here? I know she'd think I am. I was going to go good apple all the way until you decided that because she honked her horn at you, you were just gonna sit there until she left. Like, you knew she wanted the spot. And okay, yeah, she was being rude, she was rushing you. Like, you're not wrong for wanting to sit there and pick a good song, because that's actually safe. Like, you shouldn't be fiddling with your phone while you're driving. So deciding on a song before you get started, like, yeah, I support that 100%. But for me, when you realized that she was impatient and you like just blatantly made a choice of, well, fine, if you want to be rude, I'm gonna sit here all day. And let's be honest, okay? You're what, 30-something years old? This isn't the first time you've ever driven in a parking lot, okay? We all know that if someone is sitting there waiting for a spot and it's a packed day, more than likely there's a line of cars following behind them. So like for me, just deciding, okay, well, if you want to be rude, I'm gonna ruin your day. Like, to me, that's petty. No, you don't need to rush, but to blatantly make a decision that you're hoping just annoys and like punishes them, like, oh, I'm gonna teach them a lesson. You're not anyone's parent. Like, I can't stand when someone just gets this mentality of like, I wanna go out of my way to ruin their day because I'm gonna teach them a lesson. Why? You're now stooping to their level, and I can't support that. Now, I'm not gonna give you a bad apple for it, I don't think. I think I'm gonna go crab apple because, again, I don't think you're wrong for like not moving the spot immediately and like not skedaddling right away. But I think like going about it and purposefully making people wait longer, and now you're making everyone else wait too. Like, I can't give you a good apple for that, you know? And you know, I think there might even be some people out there who think crab apple is too nice, because like I know I would be really ticked off if I was going to Target and I saw that like 2 cars were like having a stare off. You know, this person didn't want to leave, specifically despite the white minivan, and she wasn't gonna leave because she wanted that spot, and I then had to just sit there for God knows how long. because y'all too want to be petty, like I would not be happy. I would be pretty upset. So I think that there are people out there that can convince me of bad apple for sure. For now, I'm going crab apple, and that's the plan. Apple number 2. Am I the bad apple for ruining my own wedding? My now husband, Lucas, 26, and I, 25 female, were getting married. We decided to tie the knot as we're having a little girl together and are madly in love. So, leading up to the wedding day, Lucas told me that his best man, Jacob, wanted to propose to his girlfriend as it would be a great time and it's a nice venue to do it at. I said, I don't want him proposing at our wedding. Like, this is our special moment, not theirs. They can do it somewhere else on their own dime. I'm paying for this venue. I'm paying for this photographer. I'm paying for this DJ. No, they're not using it because they want to save a quick buck. This night's about us. Well, Lucas told me that his friend was pretty mad that I didn't agree. I just want the wedding to be a special night for our family. I mean, this is our special day. Why is that so bad? After that disagreement, I didn't think anything of it. Fast forward to the wedding day. We finished the church service and we were all at the reception and having fun and eating. I'm just enjoying my dinner when all of a sudden, Jacob stops the music at the DJ booth to make an announcement. I knew from that moment that he was gonna propose. I looked to see where Lucas was, and he was holding red and white roses, walking out to stand in front of Chloe, Jacob's girlfriend. I could not believe he was proposing at our wedding. And I couldn't believe that my husband went behind my back to help him with it. I said no. And there was no further communication, no conversation, nothing. I got up out of my seat and I just walked out. It's been 2 days since the wedding, and my husband cursed me out for 1, not letting them have their special moment, and 2, ruining our own wedding because I left. I responded with, I just wanted the day to be about us because it's our wedding and not theirs. And I'm happy for them. But the worst thing was, even though I said no, you went behind my back about it. Since that argument, he's moved to the guest bedroom, and now most of my friends are cursing me out on our socials, and I don't know. Was I the bad apple? Listen, it is not often that I make a definitive decision on someone's relationship. And I know sometimes it might feel like more often for you guys, specifically because I'll sometimes only pick the really red flaggy stories. You have to take into consideration how many stories I get from you guys every day. But for me, why are you getting married? I know you said you're having a little girl. I understand. But my opinion as a woman with no children, I want to set the record straight, is that getting married just because you're having children is such a mistake. Because I know you say you love each other, but there's clearly such a blatant lack of respect here that they're the flags are as red as my lights. Okay, the flags are as red as my lights. There's a few problems that I have. First of all, he went behind your back. This isn't something that's just no big deal and better ask for forgiveness than permission. Blah, blah, blah. No. This is a big special event that a lot of time, energy, effort, and money was put into that your husband just blatantly does not respect, doesn't care about, because if he did, he would realize how important this was to you and would at least try to continue having the conversation, try to convince you, wouldn't just blindside you at your own wedding. Everybody knows you don't propose or announce a pregnancy or do any of these big things at someone else's wedding. That's so trashy. That's so rude. No, you don't do that. So I already don't like these people for asking. I know there's gonna be some people who don't care. That's great. That's freaking phenomenal for them. Fabulous. I don't care. The general rule is most people don't like it. Don't do it. Don't even ask. That's rude. But to get mad when someone says no, that's double trashy. I do not like. I'm not a fan of that behavior. The entitlement.
What, you're saying that you spent all this money on this party and you don't want me to take advantage of it? What do you mean? Why can't this be our thing? Why can't I use all the money that you put into this wedding?
Because it's not yours. Like, to me, that's just, it's very entitled. Second of all, and then to get mad when they're like, no thank you, wild. But then to go behind the bride's back and do it anyways, that's so wrong on so many levels, not only of these friends, but of the husband. I can't even fathom Avery going out of his way to like hurt me in that way. And I know the goal wasn't hurt her, the goal is make friends happy, but like in that moment, you're putting your friend's selfish request above your wife's time, energy, and effort and money into planning this thing. Like, that is so disrespectful. And I'm speechless. Like, I can't even imagine Avery trying to pull something like that. How could you ever trust that your partner would have your back? Like, they're blatantly showing you on your wedding day, you're not the highest priority. That's so wrong. But another thing that really is a red flag to me is that you were totally fine with just leaving your wedding. You got mad at your husband and you left your wedding in front of everybody. And I'm sure there are some counselors and psychologists out there that might be able to tell me if I'm right or wrong. But I just feel like when conflict arises, just like leaving is not healthy. And I'm not saying that in that moment it wasn't warranted. I'm just saying that, like, I keep thinking about that interview with Kirsten Bell when she was talking about early relationship with her and Dak Shepard, how like whenever she would get upset or angry, she would just leave, and it was very toxic. And he was like, no, we're not gonna do that. Like, if you can't have a conversation with me, I'm not going to stay. Like, I love you, but that's very toxic. And I'm not saying that this would happen, and I don't know if it would or wouldn't, but to me, like, it's kind of red flaggy that conflict arises and you left your own wedding. Like, to me, it's not that I think you're a bad person for it, it's that, like, this relationship just has so many red flags. Like, will he support you? Will you not leave if conflict arrives? Like, you know what I'm, like, do you guys see what I'm saying? Am I making any sense? And we don't even know, like, what future arguments and issues for them look like down the road, but I just feel like this one has presented a lot of red flags. And again, I'm not saying she's the bad apple for it. Like, I'm not gonna give her a bad apple. The question is, am I the bad apple for ruining the wedding? I don't think she ruined the wedding. I'm going to still go good apple. And I don't think she's a bad person for leaving. That doesn't make her a bad person at all. It doesn't give me high hopes for the relationship. That's all that I'm saying. So I'm going good apple, but I personally do not have very high hopes for this marriage being a long-term thing. That's all I'm saying. Moving on. Apple number 3. Am I the bad apple for not including my nephew? I, 36 female, have a daughter who's soon to be 11. My daughter loves scary things, so for her birthday, she wanted to go to one of those scary escape rooms. I had no problem with it. I booked it and everything, but the catch was that she could only invite a couple people because it was kind of expensive. She decided to invite one of her best friends from school, Emma, and her cousin, Ellie. And both of them are about her age, like within a year at least. My daughter said she wanted to invite these people, and I asked her if she also wanted to invite Ellie's little brother, who is 7, my nephew. She gave me a look and said, sure, but he doesn't really like scary things, so we can invite him, but I don't think he'll like it. So I sent out invitations, and I made sure to say to my sister-in-law, hey, this is something scary, just so that Ellie's mom knew. Ellie's mom then called me and told me that Ellie's little brother doesn't like scary things at all, but still really wants to be included at the party. I said, well, it's definitely gonna be something scary, but maybe there's another time that the kids can hang out, and that would be great. But my daughter's definitely set on doing the escape room. That's when my sister-in-law got really mad. She went off saying, why can't they just do something different? And why does my daughter feel it's okay to exclude people from things? I told her, sorry, but this is my daughter's birthday, not your son's. I'm not going to be changing it. And if you're going to have that kind of attitude, he doesn't need to come. Apparently, she went and she ranted to my husband about this. My husband says that they're family and that maybe we just change the party a little bit so that he can be included and not feel left out. That maybe we just stay at our house this year. I said, no, our daughter's finally old enough to go to these things and she really wants to. Like, this isn't just a play date, this is her birthday party. You want to change and steal her big moment? Why? My husband's really mad that I'm causing problems in the family now and hasn't really been texting me and has been sleeping on the couch. I kind of feel bad because I guess we are technically excluding my nephew, but It's my daughter's birthday. It's not some other hangout thing, so I just need to know, am I the bad apple? This is one of those times where I feel like I really feel like there's missing information, okay? You're telling me that your husband's sleeping on the couch just because the little nephew doesn't want to go do the scary things for your daughter's birthday? Something's not adding up, and I don't know what it is, and this is all the information we have going on, so like I'm gonna give my opinion based on the information that we have. I'm just saying something smells fishy, okay? You know, like, do you know what I mean? So, regardless of the other details, if this is what your daughter truly wants, I want my birthday at an escape room. Okay, you're gonna have your birthday at an escape room. Other kids can either choose to go or not to go. And get this, if you have more than one children and one wants to go and the other doesn't, they don't have to both go. Now I know that the little boy still wants to go. I know he wants to be included. Okay, let him come for cake after. Not that. It shouldn't be that difficult. Like, you can find some compromises, right? We can find somewhere in the middle. So like this is like a very easy good apple. Like, you should never change your kids' birthday plans based on what other people want to do. Like, let me tell you, and I'm gonna get in trouble for saying this, but I'm gonna say it anyways, because when it comes to things that are about you, I don't care what other people want to do instead, okay? Let me just tell you, I have a best friend who is getting married, and she wanted a very specific theme for her bachelorette party. And guess who was planning it? Me. So I was like, yeah, this is gonna be the theme. And there was another girl who was like, well, don't you think it would be so fun to do this theme? No, I don't. So this is gonna be what our friend gets. But like, I just think, no, I don't care. Let me tell you, when it comes to my people, I will put my foot down. I will be the bad guy. I do not care. Like, my friend's gonna get what my friend wants. Yeah. So no, maybe there are some people that disagree with me, but based on my experience and things that I have done and seen in the last however many years, like 100% agree. I wouldn't change the daughter's birthday party either. Absolutely not. She wants to go to escape room. This is the one thing she wants to do for her birthday. She's doing it. If I'm okay with her doing it, someone else's kid not liking it is not going to be the reason that we change it. I'm sorry. I'm going good apple. Apple number 4. Am I the bad apple for stealing my nephew's puppy? I am 25 female. My dog, Dove, had puppies. She's a golden lab. I promised my nephew Dion, 10 male, that he could have one of the puppies when they're ready. He was so excited. So last week when Dion and my sister came over, he asked if he could see the puppies, and I said yes. He went into the back room and went to go see them. Me and my sister were catching up, but then all of a sudden we heard Dove barking, which alerted me to go check on Dion and Dove. Dion was standing in the corner with his hands behind his back, very suspicious-like. I could hear muffled puppy cries, and I pulled him forward and found he had a puppy in a plastic bag. I lost it. I told him off and asked, "What are you doing?" He started crying and saying, "I want the puppy now, and I'm taking it home." I said, "No, you've already been told that they're too young and that they need their mother's milk." Well, he had a full-blown temper tantrum, and my sister had to take him home. Dove was understandably agitated and was now very wary about who came near her puppies. I decided over the next couple of days that I don't trust Dion to have one of them. So when my sister came to visit next, I told her I wasn't giving Dion one of the puppies after what he did. Oh, she got so upset with me and said that it was a mistake and he learned his lesson. I said, "Girl, he didn't even apologize." She said, "Why would he? The puppy was fine. What is he apologizing for?" I got angry and said that, what if my dog hadn't alerted us? The puppy would have died in a plastic bag like that. My sister said, "You're gonna break your nephew's heart if you go back on your promise. I mean, you're basically stealing his puppy from him." I said, "Sorry, but That's my final decision. She got angry and left, and since then, I've been getting people on my back about breaking my promise and stealing his dog and saying that I'm a liar. I even got a video message of Dion crying and calling me names. I'm starting to feel kind of bad, but am I the bad apple? I'm gonna say this, and I'm not sorry. It's gonna be a little harsh. Not everyone's child deserves a pet. Not every person deserves a pet, okay? And I'm gonna be blatantly honest here. First of all, I don't think Dion is mature or responsible enough to have a pet. I would be very concerned about any animal they have in the house and like how he's treating them. She's absolutely right. That puppy could have suffocated. Like, that is not okay. That is, Second of all, for the mom to not only like not see a problem with how he acted, but to like enable it in like, what do you mean? Why would he apologize? Well, you're still gonna give him the dog, right? I don't really trust her with a dog either. I don't trust her with any animal. Like, I can't stand people who just think that animals are just cute little props that you can do with whatever and disrespect their space and like, oh, it's okay, I stepped on it, but who cares? Or, no, I don't think that everyone deserves an animal. Like, it's like a double-edged sword. I know there are so many sweet animals in shelters that need good homes, but I also kind of wish there was more regulation about who could just take a living, breathing animal home with them, you know? Like, it's crazy to me that, like, the lack of logic and common sense and just respect that people have for animals. Like, and it makes me mad. There's not a lot in the world that will make me more mad than people who will like abuse animals and not care about it. And yeah, I'm using the word abuse because I'm sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry. Putting a dog in a plastic bag like that, that's animal abuse. No, that's not okay. I would, same thing as her, if I was in charge of where those puppies go, I wouldn't let them have one either. If I was in charge of deciding where puppies went, I would look into every single person that said they wanted one, and I would only give them one if I thought that that puppy would be in a safe and loving home. And there might be some people that don't like that, and that's fine. You can just not like it. I love animals. I love pets. You guys know how obsessed I am with my cats. Vixie's not here right now. I got her a new bed and she loves it. She has not left it all day. It's in the other room. It's like 4 feet tall. She loves being high up. And I spent like $100 on that bed, and I'm about to get another one just because she loves it so much. Like, I love my animals and I'm a crazy obsessed cat lady, all right? No bad apples at all. Good apple all the way. I'm like horrified and disgusted by her sister's attitude about this. Like, what do you mean? What would he apologize for? Oh, that just makes me mad. Oh my gosh. You're like a grown adult. You know better. And Dion's just not ready for a pet. And I hope that he grows out of it, but until he realizes and acknowledges and like really understands why what he did is so bad, no pets for Dion is my opinion. And I don't change my mind on that. No one will be able to make me move from good apple. Absolutely not. I would never give these people a puppy. I'm like getting upset. I need to move on. I'm like actually getting really sad. So I got 1 crab apple and 3 good apples. And there's a few that you might be able to change my mind on. Like even the wedding one, you might be able to convince me of crab apple maybe. But you know, that's what I got so far. I would love to hear what you guys got in the comments. Did you get something similar to me, different than me? Would love to hear your perspectives. As you all know, my fake nails are too long for me to really type well on my computer and phone. So I read a lot of your comments. I don't get to respond to everything though. But I love to read what you guys have to say. And for your well wishes, I hope each and every one of you take something small to treat yourself with, okay? Whether it's an extra hour of watching TV just to relax, or a cookie or a cupcake, like something small. Those are my well wishes for you, that you just do something nice for yourself this week to treat yourself a little bit, because you deserve it and I want it for you so badly. Once again, if you want a chance for your stories to be featured on Am I the Bad Apple, you can submit it to my subreddit r/Am I the Bad Apple. And I hope you have a really great rest of your day. Thanks so much for hanging out with me, and hope to see you all next week. Bye my lovelies. Mwah.